class, like a basket, like just a basket. The schools are full of them. Find a basket for each class, put a big label on it, line them up on a desk, line them up on a bench, so there's room between them. You've got in the basket and under the basket. Papers in the basket are waiting to be graded. Papers under the basket are waiting to be handed back. You've also got your folder, which is stuff you carry around with. So you've got in the basket is waiting to be graded. Under the basket is waiting to be handed back. Everything gets graded and everything gets handed back. With any kind of efficiency, you can pretty much tear through them without a lot of problem. Grade the papers in sets to make it easier. Like you've got 3 sections of social studies and you have an assignment. Do them all 3 sets for that assignment. Do them all at once. And it'll be easier to grade them and quicker. When a set is graded, it immediately goes into the grade book. So there's no graded but not recorded. There's no category for that. When it's graded, it immediately goes into the book. Okay, there's no category for that. And putting them in the book involves, the name, 7 out of 10, 7, 7. It doesn't take that long. I remember I had like 4 sections of 9th graders, 5 assignments per grade or something like that. It was like 20 assignments, like 100 students. It was like just an incredible, it took me like 3 hours. It's not a big deal to grade papers. I never minded it. I never really minded it. It's kind of a way of reaching out and touching your students, in my opinion. But you got to be quick and you got to be efficient and you don't want to fuss about it too much. Let me take a quick look at my notes. Assignments have a quantitation number assigned to them. When you give them back to the student, they have a number. Just put a number on them. It's out of 10 typically. Is this good? Well, a good is 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. If they turn it in, they automatically get 5. You don't fuss over things. Don't fuss over things. This is, look at things. I've never taught language arts. Language arts would be different. And I know that. And I can't really address that. Find a language arts teacher. But I think the same thing applies. You've got to move forward at all times on an administrative level. Grading papers, you've got to just go through them and go through them. Just scream through them. And the kids don't pay much attention to them anyway. And there's so many papers, and they know that as well. A lot of it's based upon a pass-fail completion criteria. Don't fuss too much about it. Assign a number, and this, of course, goes in your grade book as well as in the computer. And then they have 10 points or 9 points or 8 points or a test, maybe 30 or something like that. And don't fuss too much over it. Don't put letter grades on the papers. Just put a number on them. Maybe 7 out of 10, or just if the kids are used to out of 10, just put an 8 on it or something like that. And they know it's out of 10. And there's a lot of room for individuality. You can pretty much do things the way you want. Okay, it says, let me look at my notes. It says a quiz. Yeah, a quiz might be 15 or maybe 25. A big project might be 35. Don't worry about the number. I need to have exactly 300 points by the end of the year. Don't pay attention to stuff like that. The computer takes care of that for you anyway. When you're grading papers, simply put the fraction on the page, 8 out of 10, 27 out of 35, or something like that. And you'll be constantly returning papers to the students, and they expect that, and that's part of their encouragement as students, as they turn things in and they get them back and see how they did. It's like this cycle of reinforcement that you form by doing that. It's not a bad idea to plan on having the students turn something in every day and grade it every day. You go, but that's too much work. It really isn't that much work. You can do it. It's up to you, of course. And this is a trick that I think maybe I want to pass on to you. A very good way to set up a curve is that, say you have a test and it has 22 questions. Don't worry about the number of questions on a test. I need to have 15, 35 points. Don't worry about stuff like that. You have a test. The test has 22 questions on it. Call it 25 in your book. And Call it 25 when you grade it. And it's like it automatically curves up. So that like instead of 22, it's automatically 25. So if a student misses 2, that's 23 out of 25 instead of 20 out of 22. Or if they did poorly on, call it out of 30. So 100 is 30 out of 30. They missed 2 instead of 20 out of 22, it's 28 out of 30. They miss 5, which would be a C. A C is suddenly a B, and you can very effectively and in a very sneaky way apply curves to your grades. So let me repeat that. Assign points to an assignment more than it really has. If it has 20 questions, if the kids did bad on it, call it 30 questions. Give them all 10 extra points. And also, it's invisible in your grade book. And that's it. Don't fuss over things. Move forward. I know you have a lot on your mind, but this is one area where I hope I can help you. And thank you for your attention.